The average American tax refund just hit a record high of $3,521 in 2026. And if you're already mentally spending it, slow down. What you do with this money in the next 30 days could either change your financial trajectory forever or vanish into thin air like it always does. This windfall didn't fall from the sky by accident. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act quietly rewrote the tax code in ways that put more money back into everyday pockets. And most people have no idea why their refund suddenly got fatter. Think of it like the government accidentally leaving the tip jar on your side of the counter for once. And the question is whether you're disciplined enough to actually keep it. Experts over at The Motley Fool ran the numbers. And here's where it gets almost unfair. That average refund, invested wisely, could grow to over $60,000 in 30 years. That's not a typo. That's just compound interest doing what it does while you're out here debating whether to book a vacation or buy a couch you don't need. Now, before we get into the fun stuff, the stocks, the sectors, the passive income dreams, we have to talk about the financial equivalent of putting on your oxygen mask first. If you're carrying high interest debt, anything in the double digits, that debt is literally eating your future returns alive. And no index fund on earth is outrunning a 22% APR credit card. We're talking about the kind of debt that charges you interest while you sleep, while you work, while you're sitting here watching this video feeling good about your refund. Kill that first, because every dollar you throw at double-digit debt is a guaranteed risk-free return that Wall Street can't even promise you. Once the high interest debt is handled, your next move is boring, unglamorous, and absolutely necessary. A $1,000 emergency fund sitting in a high-yield savings account, untouched, just waiting. Without that cushion, one flat tire or one urgent care visit turns your investment journey into a fire sale where you're cashing out at the worst possible time. Now here's where the strategy gets interesting for the growth portion of your refund. Index funds are the unsexy, statistically superior choice that most people sleep on because there's no exciting story attached. You're not picking winners, you're buying the whole game. And historically, that's beaten the vast majority of actively managed funds over any meaningful time horizon. But if you want a little more edge, sectors like aerospace, defense, energy, and electric vehicles are sitting at an interesting intersection of policy tailwinds and long-term structural demand. Companies like Transdim Group, Bloom Energy, and General Motors aren't just names, they represent bets on where the next decade of industrial and energy infrastructure is actually being built. Here's the part most people completely ignore until it's too late. The IRS will gladly take a cut of every gain you make if you let them, unless you're using tools like a 401k, an IRA, or an HSA to shelter your growth. Maxing out tax advantage accounts isn't a strategy for rich people. It's the strategy that helps regular people stop donating their returns to Uncle Sam. The historical record is pretty humbling when you actually look at it. Every generation gets a moment where money flows into their hands and the decision they make defines the next decade. The people who bought index funds after the 2008 crash, the ones who kept contributing through COVID, they're not geniuses. They were just disciplined when everyone else was panicking. There's a massive misconception out there that investing is only for people who already have money, and that a $3,000 refund is too small to matter in the grand scheme of things. That's exactly the kind of thinking that keeps the wealth gap exactly where it is, because the math genuinely doesn't care how you started, it only cares how long you stay in. And if passive income is the dream and it should be dividend-paying stocks, and REITs let you build a machine that sends you checks just for owning a piece of something. It's not get rich quick, it's get paid slowly and consistently, which is actually the only version that works at scale. The philosophy here is simple, but most people never actually live it. Process beats conviction, patience beats timing, and position size beats prediction every single time. You don't need to know what the market does next week. You need to know what you're going to do regardless of what the market does next week. Here's the honest truth. Whether the market dips next month, whether your chosen sector underperforms for a year, none of that changes the fundamental discipline of showing up, sizing correctly, and not making emotional decisions with money that took a year to accumulate. You're not trying to win every quarter. You're trying to be financially unrecognizable in 30 years. And wherever you are on this journey, whether you're paying down debt, opening your first brokerage account, or thinking about real estate, we can help you take that next step So check out our links in the description below for real estate investing, home contracting work, and finding the right lenders to get you started.